just playing for their potential to take the 1 seed in the group. BNE trying to play spoiler to that start out on the T side of Inferno. Again, it's a map we haven't seen today, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, excited to see this one. It's great we close out this lovely day of Counter-Strike we've had ourselves. And who else but Fnatic would let us close out at the very least. We've got to watch this roster all the way from top to bottom here, laying out all their best ones and looking good doing so. Continuing their high form here, but one last test, one last hurdle to pass here. It would be Bad News Eagles, and potentially the toughest of all hurdles as well. Press the rocking towards the B-bomb. That's a lovely shot from Rigon. Fast, you're going to hit that quickly.
That is the thing about this team, right? They hit shots like that and screw you over with just a little bit of a pinch of magic. They've already taken full of the B-bomb site. I don't think Juan Flatro is going to hear all this rotations back around towards Banana, but he'll certainly be here for the flank when it's spotted out by Rigon's P250. This setup is going to perfectly entice the CTs, encapsulate them into Banana right now, but it's a 2-for-2 trade that they are more than welcome to take. A couple of smoke. Small needs to be thrown back in for this retake effort, with one going over towards Nubox. And obviously he's going to have to peek out into the open around the quad pillar, but actually he's able to get away with one. No, it's Saren CT spawn instead. There's still a kit play. Pepsor just stopping the stick, holding it down as he ensures CT spawn's not a worry for him right now. Juan Flatro, the man we highlighted coming in, again, barely saves the day for the Eagles as they fly high on the pistol.
Yeah, beautiful work right. The Bad News Eagles to close that one out. Giving them the pistol success, giving them the exact right start to this one. And honestly, like we had mentioned all throughout this, just unleashing the ability, the firepower, the fury of Bad News Eagles. They get a chance to let out some of their frustrations here, non old poor Fnatic. At least that's what we've gotten out of the pistol round, that they had a whole lot to let out.
Well, it's a fight back from Fnatic. Even a Mag 7 thrown into the mix. Roy, maybe he's having a good time with this one. Need to be dunked over in brackets. It's perfectly placed for a whole hell of a lot of damage, but fortunately enough, that shotgun's not going to get the job done. If he had a Nova, maybe a bit of a different story, but unfortunately he did not.
Here's the propaganda. Roar's hands, anything looks good though. Sure, the same is true. Oh, he almost finds two. It will be Pepsor that's going to be bested there, and they are looking to regain control of the bracket side of this art side play here. They haven't really pressed the issue too deep. Bad News Eagles have been thwarted. In the meantime, they're going to maybe be forced to reroute here, and it's not the worst of ideas in towards this B-bomb side. It's probably a promising prospect, but there is some quick rotations arriving onto the scene here in both Mezzi and Fasher.
Right, so you most certainly want to let the Mag 10 lead the charge here, especially against the pistols. Just let the trades come through naturally, and they, I guess, naturally do, as I just spoke of. Quick double entry into B. No real worries anymore in the round for BNE. Just a quick shutdown as Nikados goes ahead and saves the Galil. So a second given over. The force buy doesn't go the intended way of Fnatic, and now it's going to be down to a save with, you know, a benefit in the mix of a Galil.
I guess not the end of the world here. There's impressive damage, impressive rotation, but like you said, it's just a little bit too much to deal with the trades there. I think maybe if we were talking about a little bit of utility in Mezzi and Fasher to help out with the site hold, then we could have seen some damage be done, follow it up, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately for them.
I wonder how far this T side will be able to stretch the envelope. Your comment? That's all they've gotten into best of threes. Or best of one, sorry. Essentially a best of three, though.
Yeah, that's actually wild. That's
so
unbelievable.
Slouch all you want. JDMers stay winning.
That they do. One of the best oppers in all of North America.
It's not getting too much credit. I don't know about that one.
You find a better opper here.
Skadoodle, free.
And OC. Damn.
She's gonna go down the list and list like every NA opper.
I mean, it's only two.
Junior.
We don't have anyone. No, don't even. I don't know why Junior just caught a straight. I'm sorry about that. Apologize. There, Complexity's not who we're casting right now, and it doesn't even matter. He's not in Complexity anymore.
There's another stray. Damn, bro. He getting all the heat.
We are on Inferno here, and the only heat that's been cooked up is from Bad News Eagle so far. Looking very good so far as well. Liking what I've seen. Obviously, the pistol and the conversions thereafter, but they're playing it loose. You can see not too much default, and they're just trying to press the issues here, coordinate their attacks. A coordinated effort in towards that CT spawn dive. Everyone's smiling. They're having a good old time.
Even a couple of smirks on their faces. It's like seeing your baby laugh for the first time. It's adorable.
It's quite nice. Unfortunately, this success wasn't coming a little bit too earlier.
True.
But
again,
at least better late than never.
About this. Like, we were talking about how BNE might literally just show new signs of life now that they have no pressure on them.
Yeah, I oftentimes really look towards this roster to do damage after the majors, after the big events, and sometimes that's not the case with these Bad News Eagles boys, but sometimes it is, and they can show that they are a roster that can impress in events that aren't the majors. They've been able to do that in kind of running the many different online circuits. All that being said here, there will be some aggression towards apartments, and it's got one, but then done. Trades are delivered here. We'll see if this lines up a decent A-side defense here for the boys at Fnatic.
Yeah, so far so good. And even set up with what I'd crown to be one of the hardest crossfires to break in the game. Now going in their favor. GXX and Co all lined up for an A-sided attack and even met by a little bit of counter utility. Tagged up, not too much, but solidifies that somebody was and still might just be here. Nikados posted to the site with the AWP in hand. The biggest issue right now is going to be Roy, but Nikados to pluck him out of the sky. GXX falls a valiant death, but I still don't think it's going to be enough with these trades being found. Maybe here? I'm not sure just yet. Mezzy falls inside the smoke, gets a 1-for-1 trade, and with the bomb potentially free to get planted, Basher's got to attempt the one-on-one retake.
You know how hard those A-sides can be to crack open, though, but the one strong suit is Kit, and low HP on center here can make things a lot more easier for Fashion, but he's got to be quick on his feet here. Center's taking an angle, and he's very committed towards this aggression on the lane side. Fasher, is he prepared for this on the cold box? He's continuing to jiggle all the game of timing, but he will hard clear it there, and that will win him the round right then and there. Fasher even going to claim that op and get that defuse off safe and sound.
Keep it real. I think that's possibly the worst place you could have gone. Like, you got to think about that, right? Not only is this man worried, like, look at it the entire time. He is shaking, spazzing out on that box. Like, where do I look? Timing himself and all. It's like, even if you're going to be distracted between both of the angles, there's better ways to play it. Play it around the pillar instead. Show less of your body off. Have more of a safety net to turn around. Play more around the site. That angle is so damn committed. Who are you expecting to catch off guard there?
Yeah, I mean, again, the A site really lends itself to so many different like headshot angles there, and so sometimes on low HP it can maybe be something you use. But again, he was just hoping to land the shot there, win the clutch, and deliver another round there to BNE. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. But what he has done is deliver a lot of extra funding with that bomb plant and an opportunity to cash in some checks if they can win around here.
I love how they kind of get screwed over one round on the A execution. You can see the instant transition with more interest shown towards a banana take. And so far, it's very favoring. In fact, only a little bit of damage taken via utility in response to the map control they've taken. This is honestly worth for how far they've gotten up. But speaking of util, man, it's really not that great for BNE. Next to nothing on a couple of these players. Bits and pieces for the most part, handful of mollies and smokes. Again, as I like to tote, it's nothing to... It's going to get you onto a site, but it's not going to be able to help you hold it off.
That's well put. And it just seems like they're trying to take a lot of these fights here. Center. That's where he's going to thrive, though. Roy, it's rare to see him get shut down, but it's welcomed here for Bad News Eagles. Now they want to continue their efforts in towards this A bomb site, but they've got to crack through another little crossfire. It's a from Austin MP9, though, to deal with it.
I'm going to say, Roy's usually the pit player, so I'm kind of surprised they don't just neglect it at this point, right? Knowing that pretty much done all the heavy lifting. Pepsor, last man standing in the middle of the bomb site with an MP9. I just realized they have 9 seconds to go. They have to get into the site and get the bomb down. They don't realize. They have no idea the timer's this slow. The round's lost. Bad news, Eagles have tossed it away.
Wait. Oh, no. Yeah, they didn't have time. You're exactly right. Basher just has to hide. Safely tucked in. I thought maybe there was a slim opportunity to get those numbers punched in, but that's not the case. And Fnatic calling it a timeout because that's back-to-back times where Fasher and this clutch a whole lot easier than the last, but I've barely scraped by these rounds here, and I feel like they got to be looking a little bit more cohesive if they want to really close out this this map here and deliver themselves an opportunity to claim that first place prize here, because playing it a bit sloppy here, giving Bad News Eagles exactly what they want in some isolated duels is not too much what they were hoping for. That's exactly where Bad News Eagles are going to thrive.
It is. But Fnatic starting to win the econ game and only an inch away from taking this lead back into their own welcoming hands. The money's really not that great anymore for BNE. You think of the T side and the benefits, it's not a lot. And I guess usually the economy is one of them, but not when you just keep 3 players alive after time. You get nothing for doing that. So now very, very vulnerable to a break, and Fnatic are ready to try and bounce on that fact.
They're hungry to get there. See if they can continue to deliver the success here. Honestly, the purchase isn't too incredible, but neither is Fnatic's for that matter. This consistent clutching that Fasher's been required here is going to really come calling. This time, I do like to set up a whole lot more towards this A-bomb site. They do have a nice little porch side setup here with a little bit of help coming through from Nikodos on arches, but he will join up with his teammate as well.
Oh, they have the right idea. Roy even getting spammed on top of the porch center. What a heads-up play.
Oh,
big opener
God.
again. The pit player tumbles and falls. Bad News Eagles instantly off of that pick decide to regroup and get ready for a very fast A pouncing. Only 2 here to defend. They both tuck themselves into the pit, so it's another crossfire established, but this is pretty much full arch control gathered already by BNE. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of time left. BNE have really dwindled this clock down very low once again, so if things start to go south, that's where the issues can start to arise here. Utility encounter. There's no smoke for the molly there. Nikodos forced to fight out of this situation. He's going to get run on down.
Absorb. Not ready for him, but Juan Flatro catches him with the head turn. It's a perfect distraction to come through. Maybe not intentional, but they use it anyway. Fnatic. They fall and tumble once more. Now it's them on the backs of the economic downfall. I didn't consider this possibility because I thought for certain Fnatic would understand the big risk at hand for BNE in this round and potentially put paddle to the metal, but instead it's just, I'd say an aggressive hold, but there's no initiative taken anywhere. It's like Complexity on Vertigo where they would just kind of give up on the map control for free. You can hold on to a lot, sure, but I mean, you gave them full control of Banana. You're leaving yourself so vulnerable to something like a flash play or just an unlucky kill not going your way in bracket from you losing that round. It's exactly what happens. BNE, they don't really have to use that much utility. It's a couple of, no disrespect in saying it, lucky kills. And everything past that point, it's a perfect setup and execution from BNE.
It's all that you need. Again, the one little bit of worry that I had was, was the timer going to be of essence? But even still, I was saying that at around 30 seconds, they were moving inside of the bomb site, and you can see 15 seconds left on the clock. Bailed out by Juan Floucher with a nice double entry here. They'll be able to hold on to the rifles there, but still making sure that they could do a good job of converting.
Sure, we've seen him work with less before. You think back to that Vertigo game where I believe Fnatic went around with 2 rifles. I think it was, Roy and Nikodos who saved guns? I could be wrong, actually. That wouldn't really make sense considering the positions, but all in all, they won around with 2 guns and a handful of upgraded pistols, so, I mean, we've seen it before.
Now we have. They've looked actually pretty decent when it comes to these rounds with Deagles in the hands of players like Mezzi and all the likes, but Basher, honestly, when he's had the hero rifle, if you remember back in that last map, he won them around. That kept him in that game big time. So good signs to come, and even better now that Roy's caught a gap here in the default. these very patient defaults from Bad News Eagles. I think they've been doing nothing but panning out well for them, but in this occasion they could punish as they lacked a little bit of apartment setup.
We actually haven't seen them going for a full B execute, have we? Besides something like the pistol, really. So, hey man, more power to them, but still so much damage inflicted with a dink, even a kill up through a smoke. It's a raw USP frag. When's the last time you've seen that? And even doubling down. Told you we've seen it before. No reason to doubt him. Fnatic show why as the money is again broken by BNE.
Yeah, that's as a result of this beautiful proactivity right there from Roy, taking a lot of initiative, knowing that he needs to go and really create some space. It enabled alongside that so many rotations over towards that B side, which helps out big time as well. And that's the reason why they had so much presence there. That's the reason why they had so much success, is great work being done from Fnatic and from Roy delivering. And the impact here, once again, I feel like that is just something that can't be understated here. It's like a broken record because it never does end.
The song that doesn't end. Only real homies know that one.
It lost me, that's for sure.
Yeah, because you're uncultured. Somebody got to have my back. Somebody out there. Pick a brother up.
Move to there. Enter and Zaid here, and maybe some support being offered as well to Fnatic here on this A bomb site. As you can see, it's a somewhat risky rotation. Actually, I think it's more of a retrieval of utility. Fasher's just gone in towards CT spawn to pick up a smoke and a molly, which is pretty nice. That'll help out the B side hold if it was ever to come his way, but the reality is right now, with this Arch and Moto smoke, that they look to test the waters towards A once again.
I'd say somewhat inconsistent with the success category, but this one definitely won't be added onto the resume of the Bad News Eagles because so far it's, I'd say, so bad. Bomb dropped no man's land, and they're still a bit uncharacteristically slow in trying to retrieve it. Boost up doesn't work, running out of tricks up their sleeves, and now it's kind of just a raw 2-on-5 that doesn't really feel all that realistic. Didn't have to do that to him. A bit out of pocket, and that's kind of what you deserve for doing it. Rygon with the trade. The round is still definitely out of reach. Oh, damn.
Oh,
relax,
God.
brother.
That's a sharpshooter right there. Doing what he does best, but it is a one and done. His endeavor will be cut short at the hands of Fnatic here. And finally, we're seeing them string things together off the back of what was kind of a half buy there. Now we're going to be wielding limited investment here if you're Bad News Eagles. Probably not going to be too much to offer here. A lot of clocks in play, and it's going to be a little bit easier now for Fnatic to work here.
Yeah, it shouldn't be one they struggle too much with. Rygon, can't really blame him for going right back to the Desert Eagle after the shots he converted in the ending parts of the last round. But eventually they are just going to go with the good old-fashioned popper up and into B. Fasher and Mezzy already put this one on quick lock and key. Don't really imagine there's going to be much left in this round. Yeah, Fnatic. First lead of the game, and potentially more to come.
That is for sure. They're starting to warm up on the CT side. They got a couple big clutches already to kick things off. I wasn't sure if those clutches were going to continue to favor Fnatic, right? They got away with what I would say is murder on that map versus Saw to get to a comfortable spot here to punish Bad News Eagles' opportunity of making playoffs by winning so many different clutches. So that continuing into this map is even more fearful of Fnatic. Got a couple of Fasher 1v1s already to add to the tally here.
Oh, yeah, what are they planning? What are they cooking? Full banana and car control off the back of it. There's still so much counter utility, so they just went in for a 5-man execute. I really don't think it'd work out all that well. So many mollies left to be thrown in. Now with the spots given and the smokes thrown back on the counter execution from Bad News Eagles, you'd think that this would be shut down, but both of the smokes get extinguished. Rather, both of the mollies do. And even while they swarm the B site like ants, they're going to need some kills to start to seal the deal on this one. Thankfully, they've delivered it. Mezzy, the IGL, falls. And Roy doesn't dare spam up through the smoke just yet, waiting for it to fade instead. There isn't a CT smoke, so he can just get a free sightline going deep, and the bomb is still yet to even cross.
That could be a good side. Juan Flautro, though, taking a lot of liberties in towards CT spawn, and he'd be able to keep things in containment here, but Repazor able to close the distance. But Nico Dawson a 1-on-2 here. He has to retake to make some magic happen here, isolating these fights. There's the smoke, shroud the vision. He's not able to find the shot. He's not able to pluck it out just yet.
I mean, you know where it's planted considering the noise being made by it, but he doesn't dare go back in for the retake. He'll just concede it up to Bad News Eagles, let them have it. Realize they've been outplayed. And again, it is just more of a case of Bad News Eagles. They catch Fnatic doing nothing. That take shouldn't have worked. Let's be realistic. There was a lot of counter utility to come through from Fnatic, but both of the Molotovs got extinguished in very awkward smokes. And with that in mind, Bad News Eagles didn't really have to worry about anything on the pathing into the site. When those mollies miss, when it's literally just a couple of flashbangs to try to hold you over and keep you on the finish line for Fnatic, it's like you're not really going to be putting up that much of a fight against a 5-man site take.
That's definitely the case right there. Feeling some heat. I mean, you can see the super stand-in was trying to pull things back. He's doing a good job of attempting it, but Bad News Eagles just able to take too much space. Obviously, I don't think there's anything that Nikodos could do in that 1-on-2 unless he's able to really nail some nice shots. And maybe there's an opportunity, right? Maybe if he could have dropped the bomb or something along those lines a lot further time before that bomb did go down. But wisely, Bad News Eagles just didn't give them anything to work with.
They didn't, man. But I mean, the thing is, I guess I might not be so fair to Bad News Eagles. I guess I haven't been, because there's been a couple of times now where it's been like, yeah, Bad News Eagles probably shouldn't have won this round. Fnatic, it's more so on the lack of initiative. They have this aggressive setup that just doesn't work out. But it's kind of like something that you and I saw the other day in an OG game where it's like, if it keeps working, why change it? Like, they keep exploiting this fact that Fnatic aren't doing anything. And again, that's just the Bad News Eagles special. Like, they're not scared to go in for these 5-man site takes and just try to out-aim you. It works.
Yeah, it is working quite nicely, and honestly, these defaults have been working out well as well. On top of that, right? I like that Bad News Eagles are giving themselves enough time to execute into these bomb sites, but they're also making sure that they have as much opportunity in the round to try and utilize the players that they have. You want to give these players the opportunity and the time to work the map because of their individual abilities. So it's good signs here. It's good pickings from them, but looks like Fnatic could turn the tides here for pickings of their own. They play the cards right. Nikodos, he's not able to land the shots here. He's not able to pluck anyone out of the surface just yet. Turns the corner only to meet the immediate edge out of center. They try to go proactive. They try and go aggressive, but they just get punished.
And you know you got 2 kills up and into B. You might as well just go pathing forward. That's exactly what they do. Center through a smoke has found a connection. Oh, man. It's just, again, poetic justice. Pepzor. Time to try to shut this take down a dink. It's so beautiful. It's a great shot, but it's just not enough. Bad News Eagles right back at you, knocking on your door for what's going to be a lead stolen right back.
Bomb has been planted.
T side of Inferno as well. Very promising here. Center, that's just a beautiful sequence of kills. That last one, straight through the smoke. Nicely done. Roy, not so safe in his position here. They start to circle him. Spotted out. Synopsy going to be dropped here. Can Roy actually hold on to this? That would be quite impressive.
Do they know he crossed? It looks like they
so.
do. Yeah, 100%. GXX. No sweat. And there it falls, just like Roy. Fnatic's money's still not all that great, though, so like I wonder if they actually want to reinvest here. I could see a half buy coming out, maybe Roy and Nikonos throw like a weapon out onto the table, but a full investment seems a bit out of the picture right now.
That's not where you want to be either. You want to be getting those investments, holding on to those for as long as possible here. Although again, man, seeing this all too often work out for Fnatic, these sort of half buys here where they're able to make just go their way. Roy, again, he's a testament to that success. Finds the opening pick there immediately. And he doesn't take too much damage as well.
Ooh.
And followed up by Fasher, he does fall, but the damage is done. Look at Center's HP.
Damn. That's always the worry about going against a gun like the 5.7. It's kind of slept on right now. I'm seeing some insane 5-7 stuff today. It's kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I'm usually a 5-7 hater. I think I'm a believer now.
How can you be a 5-7 hater? I've seen it far too many times be effective.
I just like the CZ more.
Listen, even Roy's abandoned you, and Roy has been the CZ master for so
No,
very long.
hey, I told you, man. I've changed my ways. What do you say after me for? Oh
Good
my
move,
god!
man.
There's
Oh.
no way. There's no way. That kill actually might win them the round 2. If they clear out Econom's in the back of the bomb site, the Molotov's gonna do just that. The Eagle's gonna have to walk right into the open. It's not actually cleared, but Synopsy instead takes the duty from him. And it's literally that one kill that wins Bad News Eagles this round. If Center doesn't fall, I'm sorry, if I believe it was Fasher doesn't fall through the coffins, it's like you're walking into a 3-man B stack. You're probably not gonna win that with a couple of players on low HP. But again, they managed to find a way, and they managed to steal it from the grips of Fnatic.
That is incredible stuff. He continues to have impact here. And I feel like he's getting kills on so many players he just doesn't have vision of, but able to pull that one back from what could have been the Brinks. It was still lacking purchase here from Fnatic, so Bad News Eagles making sure that they claim rounds that they probably should, but nonetheless, up to 7 here. Potential getting closer and closer to winning out this half as well, and boy, he's going to be have to hold on to his rifle here once again. 3 now strung together once again for Bad News Eagles. And now they look to be very zoned in.
I feel like they've already done the due diligence on this half. I'm going to be real. I obviously have my questions and doubts about the CT side and what they're going to show there, yada, yada, yada. But if it's anything like what we've seen already, then this game is kind of a gutter ball for Fnatic. Again, it's not the biggest of ordeals. Again, you already qualified for playoffs, so it's not like you're losing out on anything. But, you know, you'd rather have your fighting chance at the #1 spot. Avoid having to play tomorrow. Save yourself the pain of it. Wait a day.
I mean, this definitely, I've got to say, is one of the more difficult teams, though, to take down, right? I mean, this is not the roster that you want to be playing up against when there's no pressure. There's no worries in the world for Bad News Eagles, right? They can just do whatever they want. Because all of it isn't going to really impact, though, the way their tournament run is going to go, right? We know which way this is going. Nonetheless, Fnatic, they still would like to close that out, right? In theory, they want to be making it into that quick semifinals berth and avoid some of the tough competition in the quarters, right? Instant a big sitting around there waiting for them if they do struggle to close this one out.
Well, they're just going to wait out the utility and come waltzing up and into B. Even through a smoke of their own, they don't really care, man. Let the momentum move through you. Mezzi off the flashbangs, found one from CT spawn. Rotations are in, and Mykonos is not ready to let them cross into the site. Bombs dropped too, so even if you got that kill at the back of the site, I don't think it really mattered all that much. GX actually going to do some economic damage, even rips away the ult, but Mykonos looking for more too. Fasher can't overextend. How did he not get the bomb there, bro? Stepped on that like 3 times. Okay, relax, my friend. You ain't got to pop the shots in through new box. Just let him have it. They earned it. 6 on the board for Fnatic as they inch closer.
Nicely done. Oh, to shut things down. That was just a very stacked B bomb site right there. It's hard to get past that sheer amount of numbers that they had ready to defend. And honestly, those smokes were a little bit wonky as well. I think they had a deep CT smoke, hoping that they could catch the site players in rotation, but that wasn't the case. Again, I think it's time for B&E to maybe get a little bit innovative with these T sides anyways, right? With the chance to play a match with just such little pressure. You can try and test things out, test your game plans that you've been workshopping.
You know I'm always in the workshop. Only on Ancient, though. I'll only be crafting some dubious plots on that map.
Absolute devious.
Mischievous. Ain't no way you can't think of another word.
Oh, I wasn't going for it.
All right,
but I don't think I could have if I tried.
Scandalous.
Quite wacky. Right now? are making their moves again, fast and aggressive default in, and I have the right read. Bad News Eagles well prepped for an A side hit here, and you could say the opposite for Fnatic here. They've gone for a B lean. They've got the wrong read, unfortunately for them. Bad News Eagles just making this move quickly. If they do, they're gonna catch him off guard here. It's just Pepser left inside the pit.
Oh my, hold up. He ain't left inside of the pit anymore. He's been able to vacate and duck into the bomb site itself. Even has the assistance to cover his arch for now. Mezzy, if he can hang on to that, it's just such a weight lifted off of Pepsor's shoulders. But instead, it's Synopsy doubling out an arch. They still haven't cleared the middle of the bomb site, and Pepsor goes AWOL. Ballistic for 3 kills of his own. Nikados, you gotta give this one an attempt, man. The money's broken going into the last round of the half. Imagine if you could pick this round up right now. It's not a site very favoring for the retake, but you've got a smoke to cut off pits if you want to try to isolate these fights. Stops in the middle of the site. Oh, you even had the right idea, just not the right execution. Full-on ace for Synopsy, winning that round single-handedly for the Eagles as they pay forward to a very dominant potential half.
Doing excellent work right there, man. This is some sharp shooting from Synopsy, doing brilliant damage despite Abazor's best efforts to try and close that round out, right? He's doing his best work right now. He's been doing a good job with the anchoring. He's like it goes. He's ducking in and out of positions. He's being so tricky to deal with. He's making it feel like there's so much more presence on that A bomb site when in reality he was on an island. He was on an island for quite some time there. So credit to him, but Synopsy's ace is going to completely nullify that impact.
You know, as time keeps going forward, I'm only more and more thinking about how I think Fnatic is literally just an overpass god team. Call me crazy, but this is quite a poor showing from them. Again, and I don't mean any disrespect to Bad News Eagles, but like, this just is a poor showing from Fnatic. There's a lot of these rounds where Bad News Eagles, they kind of have to aim their way out of really bad situations that Fnatic are setting themselves up to counter. Again, like with some of these site holds, they have the perfect amount of utility to counteract it, but they just end up accidentally missing it, throwing it inside of a smoke. It gets extinguished. Synopsy allowed to run up arch, maybe find 3 kills some of these rounds. And Fnatic just can't seem to get their heads back into the game. Already down to a 3-on-3, and the rotations are few and far between. Faster's the only one here. If he falls, so does the round. Flashing into CT spawn. They spot Nikados. He's got not a fighting chance. Asher's still holding down the line as he hopefully buys time for the rotation in Pepsor. But with GXX locking in that kill, it's only a matter of time, really. And yes, the, again, superstar sub can pick this one up in a 1v2. Oh, maybe he can.
Nice, the bomb plant right there. Tossing in an HE to follow suit. Synopsys picked up the bomb, and he will find the last kill there. Nice little clutch to close things out there for Fnatic, but is that enough? It's going to be a losing half at the end. Yeah, it's going to be an unfortunate exit from the event for Bad News Eagles, but if they can go down with the victory underneath their belts, man, at least they won't go down empty-handed.
True.
That's
Quite sure
what
we had a
matters.
corner and out of a bad spot, I'll say that much. Bad News Eagles making the best of a bad situation.
Got to make it work on the CT side, and that's what they're kind of known for here. The CT side proactivity and aggression. It's going to be something to note in Synopsy. He's already gotten 1 ace here. He might need 2 if he wants to win this pistol because they're all heading his way. Okay, now he's looking to commit. He's actually going to dive in front of this smoke with the fire.
No.
So well placed. That's incredible. A team kill. He doesn't need an ace. He has support from the enemy team.
Friendly fire will not be tolerated. Learned that one back in the COD days. Apparently, Fnatic skipped that arc of their training regiment. Still, chance to win the round, but smokes have now subsided, and it's going to rely on these aim duels once more. And you know how difficult rounds can be when you leave the aim duels in the favor of Bad News Eagles. Even the bomb dropped in enemy territory, man. You've got to swing deep in CT to recover that bad boy. And they're starting to lock in these kills now. Running out of bullets, running out of ammunition, and running out of manpower. Bad News Eagles win themselves a pistol and start the potential upset of the CT side of Fnatic.
Nicely done. Great retake right there and great hold from Synopsy. Absolutely love to see it. Holding down that B bomb site, utilizing some of that team damage there, and then buying time for the rotations to arrive onto the scene. That's really well done from him. Beating that, he was that sole B defender. He had no help, and what little help he had was far removed from the situation. Bad News Eagles start the CT side off the right way.
Uh-oh, worst shotgun in the game is out, boys.
Probably the best run to bring it out, though. It's going to be really
Oh,
lacking
Lord.
purchase
Oh,
here.
Lord.
He has a chance to farm up some kills here. The HEs don't do as much damage as you might think, but now it's the time for the XM. Only one, though. Only a singular kill. And now the numbers being punched in. I don't know if they'll be able to make anything of this. It's only a shotgun that's retrievable, but they haven't retrieved it.
I was
So
gonna say,
bomb fight
honestly,
confirmed.
like, they could have done something with this if they were able to recover that shotgun, right? Like, imagine you sit in a corner towards construction and catch him coming back in. That's a hard gun to deal with, like, unironically. But why are the Glocks making better of this, man? Like, come on. Can't be doing all this damage on the $200 default T pistols. Round's done, though. They got the defuse stuck in. It's just about seeing if Roy can or can't find a kill. What's he going for here?
Block burst maneuver. No, not quite. He was maybe trying to sneak that XM into his back pockets there, walk away. But it will be a successful retake. I feel like you got to be happy with that, though. Fnatic doing a lot of damage there, getting a couple of kills included in the mix. There is a bomb plant. So that, with what they brought to the table, is mission accomplished.
100% is, but now they're working from the bonus, so Bad News Eagles are going to have to show one hell of a resilient play if they want to take down Fnatic here. Just on the raw fact that there's 5 AKs in play, Bad, it's going to be difficult to take them all out. But if they do, the reward is ever so much more massive. Straight back to pistols it would be, potentially 12 on the board for BNE. And Fnatic maybe even starting to be swept aside.
Risky bonus route here, but if they can make it work, that's exactly what they're hoping for. Continue their endeavors there and kind of nullify the damage that was done in the previous. Although we've seen spams tossed through the window once before here. Different angle, though, of approach right now on the boost for GXX. He's in prime position. Flashes can force him off. Will they come, though, his direction? He's getting spammed down again. That spam is going to continue here, and this time I think Roy's just confirmed it, but nonetheless, they still find damage.
What's going on, bro? Like, I have no idea what to keep track of, and they even reroute, man. Cruising down Main Street and going down Banana. Center spotted it out, so he'll be in CT spawn to try to put up a fight or two, though he'll be met by heavy resistance and utility. Bomb will go down. The center is no coward. He will attempt this retake with no questions asked. No kit, no utility, but not really surprising to see him try to break this one apart. Now, is it? This guy has been farming up some of these kills this game, so I love the confidence oozing through, but fortunately for him, CT is off limits.
Take the route towards coffins, although this is being watched upon here. No kit, so time needs to be taken on here.
Oh, he's just trying to keep him on the site.
So he's going to be hurt on this fall off here. I don't know if he's going to make it. Okay, yeah, he's safe and sound there. I think he's also prioritize his own life over trying to find that exit. Fnatic, get that round. I didn't know which way that one was going to go. I certainly didn't expect it to go so well in favor, but you can see, at least from a glimpse of that replay and taking a trip down memory lane about Pepazor's impact right there, heading out towards Boiler and showing up when it's necessary. I feel like that's kind of been the case for this guy. When it's needed the most, he's delivered a lot of impact here for Fnatic.
You can't ask for more of stand-in like he's been this event so far, man. In almost every game, barring, I believe, the only one he didn't actually show up was, what, the nuke game? I think other than that, he's been, like, impactful every step of the way. Fnatic really can't be thanking their lucky stars enough.
No doubt. He's been a great addition, great substitution here, and I think that was kind of to be expected. I'm imagining Fnatic still feeling very confident in the fact that this is a sub they've worked with before. This isn't a new face at all. Just like slotting in some old pals. But not too much friendly face in apartments here. Baiting up the op shot. Look at that fiery entry there. Nothing you can do against that, and he continues to deliver.
And it's BNE now consistently being drawn out to the back foot on their CT side. So uncomforting, man. They even have the right read, the right call, just the wrong execution, a couple of missed off shots, and terror reigns over the BNE CT side. Juan Flatro, the only one left in here, the man we highlighted coming in, and he'll go out without a whisper. Instant take from Fnatic with no holds barred. 9th on board. And you'll go into the 20th, them still being down by 1, but the money's just shot for BNE.
That nightmare territory right there. As now it's a chance, prime opportunity for Fnatic to tie things up here. It's going to be a deagle saved onto from Synopsy, and we're unable to bring in a A1S. Pretty valuable, but not too much to know other than those two little bits of weaponry here. I can only imagine in this next round, given the success of Fnatic here. So now they are very hungry to try and tie things up.
You know,
Obviously not safe.
usually I don't put reference to the chat, but there was a very valid claim made about the previous round. And when Pepsor killed the Opera in apartments after a couple of misses, you know, he wide swung, he destroyed him. That is what we refer to in the business as an Anthrant peak.
Yeah.
Don't believe me? Oh, come on. I did that in our league matches, man. Come on.
That'll be the day.
This guy has no faith in me. That Twitch chat's got my back. Born and raised, baby.
Apparently born and raised in the flames right now is went on a nice little Phoenix so far. Nate's Texas is going to so well placed, but actually misses on the target just a little bit. It's still not going to deter them from pushing down. And it will be an opening pick and make it a double. It's the deagle from Synopsy that follows suit there. Wallbang through the smoke. Quite a kill feed in the favor of Bad News Eagles, and they walk away with the man advantage here. They're walking back into the A1S.
Well, they've made Magic strike again, and this time they're able to recover the guns of it too, even looking for more. The 5-7 of GXX is ready to add another round up for the Bad News Eagles. Even not ready for the peak. Mezzy gets caught lacking, dropping the EK out. I don't know if his teammate's going to be able to get that. Okay, I guess center upgraded.
Enough round to give up right there for Fnatic, right? They're able to make do with the pistols here once again. A couple of these opportunities have been given and taken by Bad News Eagles, landing some nice shots straight through the smoke and showing that they fear absolutely nothing. Again, releasing all the aggression in the world. Raining Hellfire on Banana. Quite happy with that round as well. You can see the smiles on the faces here of Bad News Eagles. They are incredibly grateful to be closing that one.
Oh my god, yeah, that is a feel-good round. Win an eco like that? Oh, man. Boys, the team speaks lighten up. Also, another 5-7 clip. Like, dude. How do we keep getting them?
I don't know if you've even been watching Counter-Strike or if you think the 5-7 clips are rare.
Look, man, I was a G2 fan. Amanek always used to see Zed. You remember the infamous Amanek 1v4 against NRG. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, Roy was the same case, right? And you're a Copenhagen Flames fan.
Right.
You used to be there, so.
Okay,
but
to be fair,
he's made the switch.
I never
He's made the switch as well.
I never actively slandered the tech, or the 5-7. I slandered the Tech 9, though.
Hold that thought, though. Right now, Synopsy getting set up. Is this flash going to be well placed here? Not quite. It's going to be Mezzy and Nico just knocking on the door of this B bomb site. Double entry there, and that's probably enough encouragement to call this one a save for Bad News Eagles. Rifles come out here, and the struggles show up.
It's just a quick pop and lock for Fnatic, as easy as you like with the bomb site taken.
Bomb has been planted.
Absolutely no kills taken away from them, and Fnatic go up the double digits. I guess better late than never. Going into the last round, they were definitely the favorites, but Bad News Eagles, I mean, they kind of shell-shocked them, I'll be real. They got outplayed.
I mean, I think they got outgunned as well right there. The just dry peaks taking place towards Banana. Neither one of those teams had flashes that landed at the very least. I think there was some utility that was attempted to be thrown in, but it didn't look like anyone was blinded up by it.
Bro, I can't win. Now I'm getting slandered for enjoying the CZ. Come on now. Not a bad gun.
And 2-11.
I'm just ahead of everybody, man. What can I say? My food takes are from the future. My gun takes are from the future. You've seen The Boys, right?
10 steps ahead, 12 steps back. That's for sure.
You have seen the boys, right?
Taking a step back, though, is boys over at Bad News Eagles as they just kind of fumbled that last round. They just have to throw it to the wayside. I have to call that one curtains quickly. They can't really make a retake happen there on that B bomb site.
This is such an awkward buy. Look at how much money Juan Flatro has. He could have dropped an extra M4 to Raigon. He's on a deagle this round. And, I mean, look, he's made this deagle sing before, so it's not like he's incapable of getting kills with it, but it's like, wouldn't you rather have him on an M4?
Especially with how he's been aggressing, but maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe he can make the deagle sing once again. No being capable of great counter utility, though. A lot of utility tossed back in, including an HE that traces him down, but doesn't finish the job, doesn't take the kill. And it will be Synopsy trying to stand tall here, down to 1 HP, just narrowly walking away. Walking away nonetheless here. They boosted up, assembled that one faster. Gonna find more success in GXX, just hoping to avoid a lot of the brunt of this attack, but can only avoid it for so long as he tries to step up and step out. Quick demise, a grave. CT spawn here, and potentially a grave and pit as well. Berserk can get the job done here and does tap away on Flautro.
Wait,
Drops at the wayside.
did you not see that? I'm pretty sure Center just like yoinked his gun in the open. He just tossed it.
I don't know if he's witnessed it, because right now he doesn't seem to be aware. That would be nice. Way to hold on to that AK.
There's an identifiable weakness now for the Bad News Eagles. This B site's defense has consistently crumbled on them now, and it has to be adjusted. Because before it was like, yeah, at least we've got a lead to play with now, so it's not the biggest of ordeals. At the end of the day, it's like we do still have some room to try to breathe with, but now it's gone, right? That was your buy. You have to give up the lead now unless you have, again, another some like insane, crazy eco round to pull out of the hat. And you're kind of running out of time to counter adjust. I was worried about the Fnatic T side coming into this half. I talked about it. I wasn't being silent about that fact, but so far it's really showed up well.
That has. They continue to show up here in the T side. Messi's calling in a real masterclass. It seems to keep them in this game. A whole lot more to gain for Fnatic here. If they can win out this one, and after a little bit of delay, they could just take back this lead here. I don't want to count out this purchase here. That's exactly why.
Again, these are the kinds of teams that will really screw you over on these ecos. We've already made it sing for the one. On Flatro, though, a P250 is a bit of a different story. So unless Center's Deagle's got something more to say, this should probably just go back the way of Fnatic. Also, just an update, since, you know, in the pregame we talked a little bit about the teams who are qualifying for playoffs, what's left of the group stage. On the A stream, currently, 15-14 Astralis on the T side of Nuke.
Oh boy. That one lined up to be quite a interesting series there, I can only imagine. Playoff online in that one as well. Not so much in this one, though, as they execute on in towards the B side of things, aggressing slowly but surely. It's a crawl, and a hurry crawl for Fasher, but does he spot out the boost? Not in time. There's another kill. Rigon able to boost above the smoke there, collects on the Fasher, and this is going to keep that man advantage nice and maintained.
Difficulty increases now, though. I mean, the one and done on the USP is very beneficial, but they need to make it sing for, again, at least one more, and that's just not going to happen. Wallbang kill of their own, met by Pep Store's AK as well, means that little slight advantage they had, it's gone. And the eco round does go the way you would have initially anticipated, with Center maybe trying to throw a little bit of haymakers into the mix. A couple of low members, you can keep them on the bomb site right now. Look, this explosion's going to kill 2 of them. But if Roy can say anything about it, his teammates are going to live thanks to him. But he needs to find this kill, and he needs to find it now. Center even running up to try to force the equation, dude. This guy is nuts. Imagine if he had a kit, too. How far back they are, they literally could not stop him from defusing.
Yeah, that's a very bold call, right? If he did have a kit, he could just hop on that bomb, but they knew what they were wielding in this round, and it certainly wasn't enough money for the kit. Although making some money back right there. With some nice Deagle shots, looking pretty. It's still going to be Fnatic claiming that lead and honestly holding on to some rifles that they had left. But I like the idea. I like the game plan here for Bad News Eagles. So boost above the smoke in the 4-on-4. It really could have panned out for them for some more success, but not meant to be. Not enough firepower.
Well, the firepower's back on the board for Bad News Eagles, but I want to see GXX activate a little bit more. You remember the last time he had the EWP was on that double apartment setup that Pepsor dispatched of with ease. Not breaking a sweat as he walked into the jaws of the double setup and came away with not only a kill, but alive with no damage. It's not really something you can let happen again, else Fnatic might just take this across the finish.
Crossing that line would certainly be welcomed. Fnatic. I'm going to try the luck towards this side here. GXX. So very focused. Tuned in towards this bracket side. Not even blinking. Not moving a muscle. 50 seconds left. A lot of time being picked off the clock here in this attempt.
BNE, they still got the right idea for what's going on here right now, and that's definitely not the way to get a kill with your knife out. That's probably not going to assist you at long range in the duels, but Fasher's good on a quick trade, and the smoke deployed on the site is going to stall them once more. Time running thin. We thought this get the better of Bad News Eagles a couple of times in the first half, but Fasher's not ready to let it go into enemy territory. 26 seconds, the bomb needs to go down, and there's still not that much of a safe avenue to get it in. Site finally clear as they can set themselves up in the post plant. Fully on 4 though, and Bad News Eagles are shaping up to attempt the retake, though. As soon as I say that, looks like they're just going to back away.
Yeah, they're going to bail out of this one. They're not even going to attempt it. I think they know the end result of attempting that A-side retake. We've seen it far too many times before, but these crossfires are near impossible to bypass. And Fnatic, it's a pretty stock standard call, right? Get a motive smoke down, get some utility for an Hall's pop. But they make it look very promising. It's just a 1-for-2 trade on that bomb site. And I think on top of that, Fasher spamming Juan Flatro, the last line of defense on that B bomb site, straight through the smoke right there, not allowing for him to play his life.
Dude, it's such a joke, man. Why did they buff that radius, dude? Wasn't he on full health? He died at 100. My man did nothing wrong. Why do you have to die for that?
Where the cause apparently is, yeah, maybe the bomb gonna take him down, but happy with the way that round panned out at the end of the day here. Fnatic closer and closer.
So much closer, in fact, that it's going to force BNE's hand into another timeout. Pi comes back in, and holy, if you lose this one, pretty much map point. And remember, the next game has a lot more of an impact and an effect if Fnatic win this here. So keep that in mind. There is technically something on the line right now. If at all else, just the Bad News Eagles playing for pride. Fnatic still trying to game for that #1 spot.
See if they can keep making these T-sides roar. Again, it looks like we're going to see them run it on back. For another heavy A-side play here, and this time much more quicker about it. Oh my god, he still lands the shot. Sure, GXX is as quick as he could be on the trade. But that's a lot of information gathered here. That's 2 players spotted out, one of them hitting the deck, and now they just have to clear out GXX and the likelihood of Juan Flatcher being around the corner as well.
And I'm surprised they didn't end up just maybe putting their foot on the brakes and rerouting towards B, because with that knowledge of the op being in the apartments, you know Arch is pretty much going to be open for the taking. And with that in mind, could probably just go for that B-sided crunch, but still, apparently no play is the wrong call because Fasher's just double entered into the site again. I'm getting shades of complexity all the way back when we saw him on Nuke versus Fnatic, where they just kept getting these double openers without any questions in mind. Without any trade potential. And again, Bad News Eagles have called this off to a save. So 14 on the board guaranteed as the Eagles once again cower back into the B-bomb site.
Fasher was the player that we highlighted into this server. I feel like there's so many that we could talk about on Fnatic, but Fasher late into the stages here, opening up that bomb site, deleting the presence that was left standing, not giving them any opportunity to answer back, to reply, not even time to almost react even. It looked like his Fasher blindsided the second kill. Don't even know where he's coming from. You just know he's there.
It's like a jump scare, man. Also, silently, Pepsor is having another life game right now. 25 kills, also matched by Center on the opposite end. But I told you, this is going to be a game of individuals and explosive plays. That has kind of been the story of both of these T sides.
Rounds left to close it. A nice pull, but B&E don't want to let that happen too easily. I don't want to get trapped in this situation with some awkward bias and lacking utility. That's beautiful utility usage of the little that they have. It touches down onto Fasher, and that's a player that you just want to take down so very low. Roy taking a lot of liberties. He spots out two players over towards that arch side, or the porch, I should say. Raygun sticks around for maybe a little bit too long, and Fasher, he's going to deliver here. He's going to try and deal things out here, but he baits out an up shot, peeks out wide, and stops. He's going to hit the deck. That's going to be the B bomb site, just cracked open with ease. There's no one close by.
Again, I really wouldn't be shocked if they just called this up to a save. With 3 guns, you can afford to go in for a reinvestment in the next round, and I think all the damage that's been done is pretty unconfirmed. But with how close and eager Gohan Flatro seems to be in this, it seems like maybe Bad News Eagles give it the go. No, instead, they're just helping aid the cause of him escaping back out and into the A bomb site. Fnatic will take map point. 4 chances to set themselves up 4-1 to finish off their group stage debut. Again, like I said, they've already locked themselves into playoffs, but what a finish this would be. You think it was a bit of an ugly showing to start off this game. Ended this half off, I'm not mistaken, 8-7 BNE's favor. Then just wake up on this T side, start farming, winning these individual duels, finding openers into the sites, and just perfectly adapting the entire way through. 4 rounds to play against for the BNE. And the money's still not all that built up to try to help them in this cause.
Yeah, they've been saving quite a bit here. They just haven't been able to lock down these bomb sites. You said that somewhat of a weakness towards that B side here. It just seems like they're trying to commit towards these fights and feel confident in their individual ability. I think this is kind of a sign of the times of Bad News Eagles. Just feeling the pressure, feeling the heat of Fnatic in full force. They try for an opening pick here, but GXX has to dance between the flames and the fire. But Fnatic, they will be able to get out. Save this out for now. Mezzi taking a lot of damage in return. It's not unanswered, but more HEs will land, and somehow Nikodos able to walk away with his life, but just narrowly. He's on 4 HP.
I mean, they did adapt. Bad News Eagles, like I said earlier, and like you had just mentioned, their B site was incredibly weak, so cannot blame them. And I also really like the fact that they start stacking up 3 here off rip. You can see how well it did to shut them down with all that damage inflicted. Still stuck in limbo is Fnatic, who don't really know where they want to go right now. You got a low HP member and Mezzi. Same goes for Nikodos. So if Roy and Pepsor don't dig this one out of absolutely nowhere, then it's probably curtains, at least for this round, and BNE get to stay alive.
It's hard to imagine a world where they pick up the pieces from here with the man deficit. Especially a man like Fasher, when these last couple of rounds has nailed the opening picks at every occasion here, but they're just going to try and drive fight, contact play up towards the bracket side. Pepazor, you don't want to give him these tools here. He's been very scary.
Right now, he's the only one with a reasonable amount of HP, so they're just going to go ahead and double swing him. Don't let him have any chance at getting isolated duels. You fight him 2 at once, there's really nothing he can do. Center instead finds all 4 kills in the round and moves himself up to 29, topping the server by not that large of a margin, but still a very respectable one. Closest on his team is 13 kills behind him.
Yeah, that's wild stuff right there, but still it's important that he's showing up and continues to deliver. That is some very sharp shooting right there. Quick on the kills. Isolating those fights to perfection, because if he wasn't, then who would right now in Bad News Eagles? They're continuing to show up here. GXX, oh, just blinded up by the flash. A 1-for-1 trade taking place here elsewhere on the map. Probably welcomed here at the moment for Fnatic.
Op and Rifle still posted up over in Banana. They catch wind of this considering GXX's off shot's just been baited out, but they're taking some re-initiative again. Synopsy walking all the way down. And I wonder if they're going to try to isolate these fights. They've still got plenty of utility to try to do it. Synopsy even continuing his onslaught over into T-spawn. Not hard clearing it, but on 1 HP, he should be a dead man walking. GXX still here. They know he's the Opera, and I wonder if they're going to use that information to isolate the one man on the A site right now. It's center, though, so pick your poison. You're either walking into the barrel of the Op or you're walking into the man with 29 kills.
Can still hold on to the access of this bomb. It looks like that's exactly what he's going for. But oh, that smoke isn't very fun for him. It will be Scenario dropping another name. Upshot rattling off as well. He'll keep things nice and contained. He's the last line of defense on this A bomb set, but he doesn't realize the opportunities that could come. He spots out towards the pit side of things, and he's gonna peek. He's double swing though. Too much presence here, and it's all the back of GXX to clutch to close things out to keep them alive, or else Fnatic could be solidifying themselves to the top of the charts.
I really don't think there's going to be much stopping him in this one. Even just peeking up as soon as he drops in the smoke. Roy not going to let the shenanigans continue for any longer. He'll move Fnatic up to 4-1 in the group stage. Remember that really unfortunate tumble they took against Complexity, but it's a long